What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another review. This time we're taking a look at G.I. Joe Retaliation, the sequel to G.I. Joe The Rise of Cobra. Okay, I'm just gonna flat out say this. I do not like G.I. Joe Retaliation when comparing it to The Rise of Cobra. I think G.I. Joe Retaliation overall is an okay action movie, but as a sequel, it's bad. Like, this is a really bad sequel. It takes things that were set up in the last movie, either it completely disregards them or retcons them, and what you get is a confused mess of a movie that makes really bad decisions that I'm still scratching my head trying to figure out why these decisions were made. So let me illustrate. Let me illustrate my thoughts on G.I. Joe Retaliation. First, I like the inclusion of The Rock as the character of Roadblock. I think he's a worthy addition to the G.I. Joe franchise. I actually like the chemistry that The Rock and Channing Tatum had as Roadblock and Duke. However, I do not like that this movie kills off Duke the way that they did. They disregard Duke as a throwaway character. The entire first movie is about Duke joining the Joes and eventually taking over the Joes. In this movie, yeah, he's captain of the Joes, and not even 15 minutes in, he is killed off. Not only is he killed off unceremoniously, his death is like a blink and you miss it. It's a total disrespect to the first movie that took the time to develop the character of Duke. And Channing Tatum is not even half bad as the character at all. He's actually pretty good, and he and The Rock, like I said, they do have chemistry in the very, very few scenes that they have. The killing off of Duke is the first strike against this movie. Another strike against this movie, Ripcord and Scarlet are completely disregarded in this movie. They're not even mentioned, and in their place are Flint and Lady J. These two characters are completely useless. Nothing against DJ Catrona or Elizabeth Debicki, but I would have preferred. I would have preferred Ripcord and Scarlet and continuing their story and having them join up with Roadblock. You know, it would be more powerful for me that way if it's Roadblock and Ripcord teaming up to take down the people that killed their friend, who they viewed as a brother, instead of Roadblock, who only has 15 minutes to develop, who only has 15 minutes of screen time with Duke, while Ripcord has an entire movie dedicated to him. Not only that, he already has a budding romance going on with Scarlet. This movie could have had Ripcord and Scarlet already as a couple, and it would have been interesting to see how that would have further developed. Instead, they're not in this movie. That is strike two. Strike three, this movie kills off Destro. And it kills off Destro in a very stupid way. Why would you kill... Why... First off, if you're going to kill off Destro, then why would Cobra Commander take the time to save his life in the last movie just for him to say, "You're out of the band"? So dumb. Not only that, Joseph Gordon-Levitt doesn't even return as Cobra Commander, and what you get is just a stock performance just a stock portrayal and performance of Cobra Commander that doesn't have the nuances that Levitt gave him in the last movie. And not only that, Cobra Commander without Duke, Cobra Commander kind of feels superfluous to this movie because the last movie pretty much intertwined the histories of Duke and Cobra Commander as them being close friends. By killing off the character of Duke, what purpose does Cobra Commander have since his arch nemesis is gone? I don't understand it. Not only that, this movie treats Zartan more as a lead villain since the last movie pretty much set him up as the fake president. He comes across more as a lead villain than the Cobra Commander. Cobra Commander comes across more as a lackey to Zartan, if you can scratch your head around that. I don't get it. I mean, I think Jonathan Pryce playing the evil version of the president is actually really entertaining, and the guy's having a good time hamming it up. And I like how he's playing the same character with two different perspectives. I thought that was actually pretty cool. And the scenes where he interacts with his evil self are actually pretty decent in my opinion. But still, it doesn't change the fact that Cobra Commander is a bum in this movie. He comes across as a lackey, and Destro is unceremoniously killed off for no good apparent reason. Why? Not only that, Storm Shadow's in this movie. He was killed in the last movie. They don't really explain how he survived, but he's in this movie. It is fun to see Storm Shadow. Probably the best action sequence in this entire movie is the Himalayan mountains with the red ninjas, which is a well done scene that sees Snake Eyes teaming up with Storm Shadow's cousin Jinx. So I thought that scene was pretty cool. The brief interactions between Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow was cool. This movie also retcons the backstory between Snake and Storm Shadow, because it's revealed that it was Zartan who killed the Master and not Storm Shadow. And it was only done in a way so that Zartan can recruit Storm Shadow into Cobra. Something very confusing and dull and stupid. Very, very dull and stupid. Makes no sense. But this movie wants to make it make sense, and it comes across as just forced. I don't get it. This movie also includes Bruce Willis, who plays the role of General Joseph Colton, the original G.I. Joe. Hey, listen, I like Bruce Willis. Him being in this movie, whatever. I'll take it. I mean, Bruce Willis, you know, you can tell he's sleepwalking through the role, but he does have some moments here and there. The running joke with him calling Lady J. Brenda is kind of humorous in a lot of ways. So, okay. Ray Stevenson's in this movie. He plays a character called Firefly. And in the very few scenes that Stevenson's in to actually portray the character, he's actually having a good time and is actually hamming it up as the villain. You can clearly tell Stevenson's having a blast playing Firefly. Walton Goggins makes an appearance as a prison warden, and honestly, truthfully, it's a small role, but Walton Goggins' glorified cameo in this movie cracked me up, mainly because I like Walton Goggins and I like his acting style and I like the sarcastic, smart-ass humor that he has just in all the movies that he's in. So his role as this warden who was holding Destro and Cobra Commander was amusing to me. So yeah, thumbs up for Walton Goggins being in the movie. In terms of directing, John M. Cho directs this movie, taking over duties from Stephen Sommers, and I thought Cho did an overall decent job in the directing department. The movie looks watchable. The action sequences aren't anything special. I mean, they're just generic shoot 'em ups with no dynamics to them whatsoever. Like I said, the only real standout action sequence is the Himalayan mountain scene with Jing, Storm Shadow, and Snake Eyes. Everything else is just, I've seen this before. The entire third act is completely just bonkers and overall kind of sort of boring to me, at least. It's like, okay. I mean, there's nothing. I mean, this movie tries to have high stakes by having the fake president have all the world leaders destroy their nuclear weapons so that he can have control over one singular weapon that can destroy everything. Okay, whatever. And the Joes have to stop it. Okay, and which they eventually do. And Cobra Commander ends up running away like a little bitch. And the movie just ends. So yeah. So. Okay, yeah, those are pretty much my thoughts on G.I. Joe Retaliation. As you can tell, this movie is clearly inferior to the first movie. I'm going to give it a solid 4 out of 10. It's above average, but as a sequel, it does stupid things, and it completely spits in the face of the last movie by killing off characters, dropping subplots, dropping plot points, and doing something completely stupid. But at least it had the brains to at least wrap up the lingering plot thread of a fake president. Okay, 1 point for trying. So yeah, 4 out of 10 for G.I. Joe Retaliation. Let me know your thoughts in the comment sections down below. Like the video and subscribe, and I'll check you back next time for more.